Hey everybody, welcome to photo sharing discussion number 206, September, what is this, the 10th, 2017. Hope everybody is doing well. We are back after a short break in order for your humble host here to take a brief drive around the Midwest, visiting friends and hanging out, enjoying beer, taking some photographs, not a lot, but I'll talk a little bit about that here this show. But first off, I want to make sure if anybody's watching this, everybody down in Florida and even up here into Georgia, South Carolina, we are dealing with, Florida is right now, South Florida is dealing with Hurricane Irma. And here is our live man on the scene in Gainesville, Florida. Wes, here to report on the effects of Hurricane Irma on Gainesville.
Yeah, it's not much happening yet, but we're still
all right.
The annoying waiting.
Okay, yeah. Are you getting any rain at this point or not?
Yeah, it's been raining for a day now, but
okay, all right, yeah. But
just a little bit of wind, but nothing like huge.
Okay. Okay, all right. Yeah, well, I guess you're coming up the way the path is going. You're going to be on probably the west side of it, maybe, or which is actually the better side, I guess.
All things. No, we're going to be on the east side of it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's going up the west coast.
Yeah,
so.
It went further west than they thought it was going to go.
Yeah.
Which I've been saying all along. I said it's going to go further west than they think. It's not going to turn that sharply.
Yeah, yeah. And that doesn't bode as good for us either, because that means we're on the northeast corner of it. So we will get more wind and more rain because of that. If it had gone, if it had made that turn and gone more up the middle of Georgia, now it looks like it. I guess yeah, it is. I guess it's going to go up to west Georgia, eastern Alabama is probably the way it's going to go now.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, it's a monster. I mean, man, a satellite image, it literally takes over the whole state of Florida and goes up into mid-Georgia. I think I saw it a little while ago. I think the rain actually goes up almost to Macon right now. I mean, just the bands of it. And we've been a little breezy here today, so I'm assuming part of that is because of the hurricane. But it's supposed to hit us mid-afternoon tomorrow, I think. They're saying like, noon tomorrow through noon on Tuesday is going to be the key time for us. It sounds like you guys are sometime tonight probably.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah.
Completely dark. You don't know what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you have like a weather radio or something like that and flashlights?
I don't have a weather radio. I have flashlights and regular radios and stuff.
Okay, all right. And how is the yard around your house? Do you have a lot of trees nearby or not?
Yeah, some very very large oak trees.
Okay, so yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, and our yard is. I mean, we're literally like in the middle of a pine forest. So. And they don't like really high winds, so we'll see what happens. I was telling a buddy today, who lives same general area. We went out for a run this morning, and he's like, "So what do you think?" I'm like, "Well, all I can say is I don't want to file a homeowner's claim on Tuesday or Wednesday, because if I'm filing a homeowner's claim, that means something big crashes into the top of our house. So I don't want that to happen." But you can't control it. It is, I mean, other than cutting down all the trees in your yard, which would be a pretty expensive proposition. So I've kind of keep our fingers crossed. I mean, I like the trees, but man, you get winds like this, you never know, I guess. So it's one of those things. So I hope everybody stays safe, that you make it through. It sounds like everybody's got like about a 12-hour window, as the hurricane moves through. I guess by the time it gets to us, it'll be a tropical storm probably, but they're saying that's the first time ever that they've had a true tropical storm warning for the Atlanta area, just because of the size of it. So we shall see. I'm prepared. I guess I was going to hope to get a lot of work done tomorrow since I was gone a week, but that might not happen, depending how the electricity in wind go, but we shall see. But anyway, yeah, we got. Do any photography in the last week or so? Were you able to get out?
Yeah, I went out a couple of
anything?
days ago. I'm trying to submit some images here real quick.
Okay, all right. So you were able to get out. Okay.
Get out one time before we're cooped up in the house for 10 days or whatever.
Yeah. Are you guys? Have they said don't bother coming to work on Monday? Is that kind of the?
Yeah, they closed campus Monday, Tuesday, Friday we were closed. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah. They, I guess the Governor Deal here in Georgia just announced declared a state of emergency for the entire state. I did that a couple hours ago, which means that, it's going to be one of those, if you don't have to go to work, don't type of thing. So, and it's probably, I guess we're going to get, I don't know, they're saying 3 to 6 inches of rain and winds, which mean trees are going to tumble. So there'll be, trees across the roads and that type of stuff. So it probably makes sense to do it. And I guess all the hotel rooms here are packed. Yeah. With people. And it was really amazing because we were coming down from driving in Friday and then got here yesterday from our trip. And we were coming in from Illinois. So coming in from the north down I-64 and then 24 and then 75. And we noticed outside of Nashville, where we stayed Friday night, there was a lot of traffic already. People coming up, and then coming in yesterday, I-75 north from like Atlanta all the way it seemed like all the way up to Chattanooga. There was a ton of a lot of vehicles streaming north. So, and they said like 98% of the hotel rooms in Atlanta are full right now. So yeah, a lot of people. So hopefully it moves fast and doesn't do as much damage as it could do. I mean, I guess that's all I can hope for. But so yeah, so okay, so you guys are off for the next couple of days, and hopefully won't be picking up too much damage. And I'm hoping the same thing. But you did get some photos done. I got some done over the trip. It was I'll talk a little bit about it. We went. Did I mention it on the last one where we were going? We're going to Columbus, Indiana. I think was the that's where we stopped there one night, and that was the first night we left here, stopped there, and then drove the next day up to Chicago. But kind of cool. I managed to get a few shots on large format. I did 2 shots there, 2 sheets of the same building, one with a filter and one without. And then at our friend's house, I did a couple just shots of the yard. They back up against the lake, so I did that. But outside of that, we just spent a lot of time just hanging out and doing stuff. So I didn't get a lot of photography, but I did see it was a good trip from the standpoint of areas that I would like to go back to, stuff that is within like a day's drive or whatever. That would be good. So there's a lot of good stuff to go back and revisit, but pretty good. Hey, Dennis.
How you doing, guys?
Doing well.
Yeah, nice to see Wes is on because it's a bit windy down your area, isn't it?
Yeah, it's we're still waiting for it to get here, so it's just never know.
Yeah, it should. Wes should be getting the effects of it here in the next few hours, I think. And
sometime tonight.
Yeah, and we'll get ours probably tomorrow during the day is when it's going to hit. What's left of the hurricane will hit Atlanta sometime mid-afternoon tomorrow, I guess. So,
is it losing its strength as it's going up?
It will, but it's right now. It's still big. I mean, I don't know if you've seen like the satellite images or whatever, Dennis, but literally the storm itself covers the entire state of Florida, north to south, east to west. It's that massive.
Yeah, we see the devastation it done in the islands, the Antigua and Barbados. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's moving up to the west coast of Florida now. So I guess it's up around Naples, Marco Island, and it's got all the wind, but they haven't gotten a surge yet because it hasn't gotten far enough for the rotation of it is actually pushing the water out at this point. But once it gets up a little farther, then the water will come back in with the storm surge. So they haven't really gotten any of the flooding yet that'll come from the storm surge.
Yeah, they reckon it was going to be 10 foot, isn't it, the surge?
That's what they're thinking, 8 to 10 feet. And then the next big city is Tampa, which is going to be really interesting because that's got that bay, and the ocean comes in, and you got the bay, and everything's built up around it. So They were saying something about the water going out because of the way it actually
Tampa Bay is like draining right now. Yeah.
Which is amazing. I mean, it just shows, and it's got to come back in at some point. So
I've driven across that bridge from Tampa to Clearwater, is it? It goes right across the bay.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to be on that when this hits.
Yeah.
No.
And imagine when you drove over, the bay was full. Now imagine going over and seeing it almost empty.
It was lovely. It was August and the sun was shining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're gonna. It's a big storm, as you know, and you don't know. I mean, everybody's kind of in the meat of it now, so you really don't know what the damages are. But I'm sure it'll be pretty significant. The one thing is there's not going to be near as much rain as they had with the thing in Texas. I mean, I think they're saying only 8 to 12 inches of rain instead of 48 inches of rain. So
there seems to be a lot of freaky weather coming. Is this for this global warming, do you think?
I don't know. I think everything runs in cycles, and I mean, the climate's changing, and the big debate is how much effect does man have it on it or not. But everything tends to run in cycles, and this seems to be a cycle when there's just a lot of warm water there right now. So
as long as we miss the next ice age, things will be okay.
Yeah. Unless that happens in the next 50 years, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. So I was just telling Wes before he came on that we got back from our trip yesterday after spending a week or so driving around up through the Midwest, and did some photography, not a lot. Did more cell phone photography than anything, just as we were out and about. But did manage to do a few sheets of film on the Chamonix. So hopefully we'll get that developed here this week. I don't know if I'll get it scanned in the next week or not, but by not next week, but the week after, I should have the hopefully good images from that. So it'll be kind of fun. But it was cool. I met a couple of our friends that we met up with there. We went out one night with some of their friends, old buddies or whatever, and I'd met them before, but before I was into photography. And one of them turns out is a big time photographer. He was like an AP press photographer back in the 70s and 80s, and still does a bunch of photography. So it was kind of fun. We kind of went off in our own little world talking about photography, and everybody else was like, oh gosh.
Was a nerd convention.
Yeah, exactly. But he's doing it's interesting. I mean, he was like an AP photographer, so he did that for a while. But the last 20 years, 25 years, he's done a lot of just technology. So he's been a technology geek forever, programming and that type of stuff. But he's gotten really big into drone photography. He's really found a market for it, even in his little area, for doing like site surveys for buildings and properties that are being sold, getting up there and doing that. And I didn't know this. I guess your drone probably has it too. I guess they all have some code in there that keeps them from going above 400 feet in certain spots, like an FAA limiter or something.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he says it's easy to hack. He says, that's only 2 lines of code. I can remove it. So he says, I was at a place and it was near the airport, and it limited me to 400 feet. So I took it down and changed it, and I went up the next day and I was able to get up to 1,200 feet. It's like, okay. But yeah, so I didn't know that about the drones. I guess they have all got that little blurb in there that it keeps them from going. I guess it must be based on GPS location and how it relates to airports and airspace and that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically when you're doing a firmware update, you're getting basically no-fly zones and things like that are kind of being built into the drone, so that makes sense. Kind of knows where not to fly.
They're going to get worse, Wes, aren't they? You're going to get no-fly zones all over the place.
Yeah, it's been a fight.
Have you encountered that restriction at any point?
I haven't tried to fly. Well, I have the altitude set on automatically because I don't have a license to allow me to go higher than 400 feet. Okay,
all right.
We've had problems over here, Mark, because I think the police are still looking for the guy who sent a drone down central London above all the shoppers and buses. Yeah, so it's all illegal to do that.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. This guy is, I think he does have a license to go above 400 feet, but in certain areas. But
yeah, if he's doing commercials, he has to have a professional license.
Yeah, and he said he's been a couple instances. They live in the Quad Cities area of like Iowa and Illinois, so it's, I don't know, it's 400,000 people in the area, but they do have a commercial airport there where they get like Delta and United flights. And he said one time he was there and he knew he needed to do something near the airport, which would obviously be within like line of sight of the tower. So he called the controllers and said, hey, this is what I want to do. And they're like, oh, okay, well, if you can do it between this time on this day, it's fine because of the schedule. So he actually called ahead and kind of reserved his airspace to go
cool.
do it.
Yeah.
But they're like, don't be early or don't be late or you're screwed, basically. So
we live on the approach to a local airport here, so they won't be very amused if you start flying drones around here.
Oh, that reminds me. It's not really photography related, but it was kind of a weird experience. We were in visiting our friends in Chicago. So they live in the north suburbs of Chicago, and maybe 10 miles or so away from O'Hare Airport, which is a huge airport, busy, busy, busy. We were sitting out on their back patio on Sunday. So we were all sitting, just kind of sitting around having a drink and talking. And Pam was in a chair that was facing, I guess it was south, because they're north of the airport. And everything in Chicago is in a flight path for people coming and going from one of the airports there. And a lot of big, 747s and wide bodies and stuff are taking off there, especially on Sunday night, because they leave in the evening, fly overnight, and get to London or wherever in the morning. And we were sitting there, and you heard a plane. You get used to the planes taking off, and then we're sitting there, and you hear this, and it sounded like fireworks. I'm like, who's shooting off fireworks? And then you hear this like a helicopter, and then we look over, and Pam's just sitting there looking up, kind of slack-jawed, and she says, "I saw flames come out of that engine." And we all get up and look around, and by that point they had shut down the engine. But apparently it was like a 740. It was a British Airways jet, Dennis, that had taken off and had a bird strike or something, and the engine failed and it blew up. Basically, the engine shot fire out and blew up essentially. And Pam saw it. She's like, "Holy crap!" But what happened is they shut down the engine. They're like, oh, we're going to see that on the news. They ended up shutting down the engine and then flying over Lake Michigan, that's like 15 miles away. And they dumped a bunch of fuel over the lake, a great environmental impact. They dumped all their fuel over the lake, and then they came in and landed back at O'Hare and fixed it.
Bird strikes are a real problem for aircraft. We've had quite a few of those now.
And it was, it might have been, 500 to 1,000 feet. We were only, the house was maybe 5 or 6 miles north, so it might have been 1,000 to 1,500 feet up. So maybe it was a bird. It could have been a drone. But the news story didn't indicate. They just said the engine blew out, basically, and maybe they didn't have enough information.
It's got to cause problems when you throw a 10-pound turkey into a jet engine.
Yeah, that's a big engine, and then there's like $10 million gone.
They're expensive.
Yeah, it was 4 engines. They probably could have actually completed the flight on 3 and been fine, but you take a little risk. You got 3 left. Keep flying.
Yeah, I'd like to know the faults of the people who were on the plane, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. That would have been a little scary. I've never had anything like that happen. Although I have been in a small, I'd call it what was that? It was a turboprop, so it wasn't even a jet. We were flying from. I think it was from LA to Palm Springs. It was for a business conference, 20 years ago. But one of the guys in our group is kind of afraid to fly. And if you've ever flown in turboprops, sometimes you'll see like fuel and oil leaking out of the back as it's going. And he was sitting there, and I'm like, "Look, Frank, the engine's gonna blow." And that wasn't a good thing to tell Frank. He was pretty upset.
Yeah, I used to work at an airport years ago, and they used to do pilot training. and the four-engine plane would take off, and then the instructor would cut two of the engines out as they lifted up over the local town. So you used to look up and see a plane going sideways, screaming, and two of the propellers not going round.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's before simulators. That's how they did it. It was a live simulation, a live fire.
Yeah.
But so it was a good trip. We did some photography. I found a little article on Columbus, Indiana, which is the place we stopped, and I think we're gonna go back there probably sometime in the fall and spend 2 or 3 days there, because there's just so much architecture and some really neat stuff.
Yeah, I hope it's better than that architecture you put on that church.
Mm-hmm.
That looked like a local crematorium.
Yeah. Well, that's what I photographed. Did you see that on Instagram? I think I posted it at the Instagram. Yeah. I'll share the screen. I'll talk about it because it was kind of interesting, and I adjusted a little bit for the perspective, but I don't think I did. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the church. This is I guess the first modern architecture building that was built in the church in the town. It was like 1942. But in this picture here, I was essentially at this trash can or whatever this is. That's where I photographed it from, because I got back just far enough that I could get the whole tower and the entranceway, so I could get the height of the tower in the frame.
Yeah, it's a bit too modern for me, Mark.
Yeah, it was. It's almost like 1984ish kind of. It's that not Art Deco, but So this is the steeple of the bell tower, and it's all inlaid glass. But on the back side of this church, in his back part over here, it's got, I don't know, it does look very, almost like, what's the word? Dreary, kind of dreary architectural, you know. But we got there at 5 o'clock or 5:15 in the evening, and we were in a hotel a few miles outside of town. So it's like, I got to go in and do something. So I pulled up, and I was like, well, this is the first one that was built, and which started all this stuff. So we went, and we got there about 5:30, and this is west over here. So east over here, west over here. So the sun was like that. And we had to wait around for about 10 minutes. It was on a Wednesday. So it was right at the end of rush hour, so that, traffic, as it is in a small town, but and there were people running around, that type of stuff. So I got the camera set up, and then I had to wait for 5 minutes or almost 10 minutes until there were some people just sitting here talking. I'm like, leave, get out of the picture. I can't. So I had to wait around a little bit, but I did get two sheets, one without a filter and one with a filter. So.
Well, when I first saw it, Mark, I thought, why are you taking pictures of a crematorium? I expected smoke to come out the top of that.
It is a little dreary, but so I did a picture there, and then we walked down the street and had some great beer and pizza for dinner. But we drove around a little bit more the next morning, and there's a lot of neat stuff around there, both architecture and physical. I mean, building architecture as well as landscape architecture. So that was kind of cool. But we did see a lot of other people wandering around with cameras, photographing stuff. So it is kind of a neat. If you're into architecture, I think it'd be a pretty neat place to visit.
Yeah, I suppose it would have been cutting edge in 1942.
Yeah, that was, I think, exactly it. It was kind of neat. I mean, it does look to me, looks a little dreary, kind of post-industrial. I don't know, post-apocalyptic church type of thing. But it's a neat town. It's only 40,000 people, but it's the home of Cummins Engine, so they've got a lot of the family is there, and they have a lot of money. And once a couple people, I guess what happened is once a couple architects started building stuff, it attracted everybody else. So everybody else wanted to go there.
What's the inside like?
We didn't go into church.
You didn't go in?
No, we did not go into church.
No.
It was probably pretty industrial and drab, I would imagine.
Yeah, see, last time I walked into a church, I started smouldering.
Oh, that's probably what would happen to me too. But no, it's kind of cool. So I think this is a place that is, I think, worthwhile to go back for a long weekend because it's a day's drive away. It's not that far, but there's a lot of neat stuff on the way. There's a lot. We passed a lot of like farms with old barns and stuff along the way, which would be a lot of fun to photograph too. So
when you develop that, Mark, that tower is going to be perfectly square, is it?
Probably not. I tried to correct it, but I haven't done enough to know if it looked good, but probably not. I'm sure it is not going to be square. I need to find. What I need to do is find. I'm going to stop sharing here. What I need to do is find a building something like that here locally that I can just go and practice with, so I can go back to the same spot and get good at adjusting for that, because that's completely different movements than like a landscape. I mean,
I've tried it on a building, Mark, and one end was leaning forward, and the other end was leaning backwards.
Yeah. So best as I can tell, I researched it a little bit, but you've got to use, I guess, rise and fall, and then tilt, and then maybe back tilt as well.
Yeah, I was only doing the front standard when I was playing.
Okay. Yeah.
I was at 45 degrees, and I was trying to keep it square, but it didn't quite work out. When I scanned the negative, one side of the building was leaning over, really coming forward, and the front edge was going backwards.
Yeah, I think I fiddled around with it a little bit, and I was like, well, I think it's close, but then I just tried to get, kind of the near depth of field. So, this tree here was pretty much the closest in the frame, and this was the farthest. And I think I got that pretty good, clear front center.
Overdo it because you got all the movements and
yeah.
You think you've got to do it, you've got to use it, but sometimes you don't need to.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where I'm at, where I've got all this power, and I got to figure out how to use it, and sometimes you don't.
I can't take this picture because I haven't moved the front or the back.
Yeah, I'm not a real photographer unless I do something. But we'll see. I mean, it's interesting, and it's definitely a place that we could go back to because it's a neat little town. There's some neat downtown district, and relatively, hotels are relatively inexpensive, and you can make like a long weekend. You'll go up on a Wednesday, come back on a Sunday, that type of thing, and get a couple days to. And they have tours of the architecture, which we weren't able to take advantage of. So I could see going back and doing that. But other than that, the only other sheets I did were a film where in our friend's backyard. I did a birdhouse in the front and a lake scene in the back. And then they live along a golf course. So I did another shot of like the golf course from their yard. So we'll see. But that was more about showing my friend how the camera worked. He was real interested in.
I still have a film camera. Ask Wes if he's used up that other frame yet.
No,
not yet. It's gonna every week, Wes. He's gonna ask that question.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, one of these days, he's gonna surprise us. He's going, "Look, I've done it."
Yeah. He'll be like, "Yes, finally." So yeah, so it was a good trip. Got some stuff. Didn't do a whole lot of. Did a little bit of digital photography, but like I said, more with my phone than anything. Posted some stuff to Instagram, like we're along the Mississippi River, so I did a couple shots there and type of thing. But it was a good trip. More about just hanging out and with friends than photography. So pretty good. Did you get any photography in? Oh, you posted a few images here to the group, right, Dennis? Yeah, you did. Yeah. So you were able to get out. Did you get out with? Did Tim get out with you as well?
No, I haven't seen Tim for a couple of weeks now.
Mm.
He must be working.
Okay, well, I guess that's a good thing, huh?
Oh yeah, I suppose it's better than not having a job.
Always preferable to the alternative, I guess.
Yeah, life's not so good if you're out of work.
Yeah, not a good thing. So, well, let's jump into the images because I think it looks like Joe posted a few, Simi posted a few. Unless anybody buy any equipment, any new equipment coming down the pike? No,
No.
nothing, Wes. Ah, no, no new equipment.
Let me down, yeah. Sorry.
Okay, all right. How about you, Dennis?
No, I had some photographs printed up because that's the only problem I've got now. If I use my digital camera, I got to have them printed.
Yeah.
You can't do them in a dark room. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah, film gives me the option of both, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does. So, did you take some digital images and actually get those printed then?
Yeah, I went out to London and I took a few pictures, but the weather wasn't very good.
Okay.
I put one of them on there. You can see what a summer's day in London looks like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one with all the clouds. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, did you get actually any prints made that you're going to hang on the wall? Do you think, or not?
I had some 12x8s printed up just as an experiment to see, but I find that digital pictures. They seem to be sprayed on the paper, you know. I did send one in, which was a scan of a 6x6 negative.
Okay.
From the Bronica, because I'd already printed that picture in the darkroom.
All right.
So when I got the digital one back and put it next to the real photograph, I'm afraid the digital one doesn't come anywhere near it.
No comparison. Yeah. Just more detail in the actual darkroom print.
Yeah. It was definitely the picture at depth. It was in the paper, whereas the other one is an inkjet. You know, it was just sprayed on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably true. I hope to find out this fall. I sent an email to one of the guys in the photo studio group that I belong to, and saying, "Hey, okay, I've got some stuff. Can I, get some time in a darkroom with you to kind of have you walk me through everything, so I can go in and actually do it myself." So.
Yeah, I think what I had up on my screen, I saved, and then I sent it online to get processed. But when the photograph came, it was a lot darker than the picture on my screen. So I don't know if it's my screen or I need a calibrated screen
that might be the issue. Yeah, color calibration of your monitor, because most monitors are set too bright.
Yeah.
I think the brightness.
I've taken to where I brighten anything I have printed nowadays.
Oh, you have it brightened a little bit? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I go up like a third of a stop or a quarter of a stop or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do the same thing, Wes, because it looked perfectly. I thought, oh, this would be a great photograph if I can get that printed like that. But it came from too dark. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so you'll just take the image and add a third of a stop or whatever, and then send that one off. So get it to where you like it, add a third of a stop, and then send it off to be printed.
It should come back looking normal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
just create a virtual copy in Lightroom and bump that one up a quarter of a stop. And
I'll tell you, I don't know what it's like in America, but the prices over here. Some of the shops were charging £6 for one 12x8.
Oh. So that's like $7 basically.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah, and you can go all these different places online with discount codes, and they ended up being less than £1 posted to your house.
Wow,
that's a massive difference. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's huge. That's a huge difference. I'm trying to think. Like a 12. Yeah, I mean, if I go to Costco, which I guess would be at the low end, not quite the absolute lowest end, but I can get a 12x12, so a square print for $1.75. So what is that? Maybe 1 1/4 pounds, something like that.
Yeah.
And then they do 20x30s for $8 or $9. I mean, it's almost ridiculously inexpensive.
Yeah, that's even cheaper than online.
Yeah,
I paid around $20 for that.
But if I go to like Bayphoto or that type of thing, it would be a 20x30 might be $15 to $20, something like that. So
Yeah.
it ends up being
When the guy said to me £6 for a 12 by 8, I thought to myself, I can buy 100 sheets of Fuji colour paper for £23. So that's 23 pence a sheet. So that's quite a markup. It's quite a margin they got there.
Oh yeah, huge. But 95% of the people probably pay it.
Yeah.
So I guess it works for them at the end of the day. But yeah, that's a lot. I mean, it would have to, with the kind of prices I'm able to find for printing, it doesn't make sense for me to invest in a good quality printer in the paper, because I can get
the inks, Mark. They're going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I don't do the volume, and I don't do the size of the prints to justify it. For the typical like 12 by 12 or 8 by 10 or even a 20 by 30, you're better off just sending it to somebody like that who can do it and does that all day. And
Yeah, it does work out not that expensive if you send it to the right place. Less than £1 for a 12 by 8 is quite reasonable.
Yeah, but £6, no, that's.
No, I had eight photographs done, and it comes to like just over £8 with the postage.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable. Yeah. I mean, that's less. That's a lot less than you can do it for yourself, I'm sure.
Yeah, well,
probably by the time you figure in ink and paper plus time.
The chemicals, and, it's probably on par. So
yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, the only difference is, of course, when you're in the dark room, if that picture had turned out dark, then I could have corrected it with the next one immediately.
Yep, exactly. You could have put another sheet of paper down and adjusted it right there.
Don't give it too long.
Yep, exactly. Yep, yeah. That's the advantage to doing it yourself. I guess you can do a test shot, see if it works, and then make the adjustment right there.
Yeah,
and do it. So let's go ahead and share. See what we got here. Images. I think. Okay, yeah, this is the last one from 2 weeks ago. Joe's nuclear explosion. And there. Okay, another one from Simi. 2,100 views, 126 faves. Taken on August 27th. At peace, part of the artist. Oh, he's an artist now. He's calling himself an artist. He's got the artist series.
How many groups has he put this in, Mark?
139. 200. Is that 299 seconds? Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Wow. 209. Once, just get that extra seconds. I mean, go to 300.
Yeah.
He must have had a 20 ND on there.
Yeah, I'm sure it was it was his big stopper, I'm sure. Grove Point Beach in Westbrook just after sunset. Oh, Jetty by Green Moss. Yeah. That's neat. The light on there is pretty good. I'd be interested to see. I wonder how he hasn't been on the show in a while. Maybe he just schedule's changed or whatever.
He's still about though, because he ticks up on my Facebook page,
Yep, he does. Yep, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Yeah, he's out. I think his probably schedule has just changed for Sunday night. But yeah, this is kind of cool. That moss that's like fluorescent green color. Nice placement of the pier.
You need to clone that boat out in the background there.
Yep, get rid of the boat.
Yeah.
Actually, you can see that's moved a little bit. You can see that over 300 seconds. That's 5 minutes, basically. Wow. Yeah, you see, he went back and poured himself a cup of coffee and enjoyed it. I was doing that.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll give another 127 faves. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know how film would have handled that. 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. You put a 10. That would have. Well, with reciprocity, it would have been like 25 minutes. Probably.
Wow.
That'd be enough time to make dinner. All right. This is Our Farm Stone Barn. So taken on August 25th. Just taken late summer, just before sunset. Okay, so he's been sleeping in. He's been missing sunrises. We're getting sunset images now. Maybe.
Now that would have been better with your large format, Mark, because you could have got all that foreground in focus as well.
Mm-hmm. And he did that. Okay, quarter second. Yeah. So a fair amount of sun coming down on that. Yeah, could have got all that in focus maybe. Yeah, that's neat. And how many groups? 131.
It must take some time to put that in.
Yeah, I'm sure it takes a lot of time. That's there's no easy way to do it. You just have to open up the groups and click. Okay, Dennis. So we have the Leica 90 millimeter.
Yeah, this is the 90 mil Leica M.
Mm-hmm.
On the Sony.
All right.
And I had the Whitlander helical adapter on.
Oh, okay.
That was maximum 4 mil out, turned out, and as close as I could get with the lens.
Okay. So how far away were you then?
Yeah, I wasn't that far away because that helical adapter makes you can use rangefinder lenses much closer than they were ever designed to be.
Yeah.
You couldn't do this picture with a Leica camera. Okay. You need to be able to use the extension tube, really.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty sharp.
Yeah.
You can see the details in the leaves here, the veins and all that.
Yeah, I just think that like 90 mil, it renders the colors so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very nice. I mean, the purples. The yellow and the purple in there. Yeah, that's a nice. Almost looks like Ektar. No.
It could be, yeah. Saturated colors, yeah.
Yeah, very saturated.
Yeah, I never done anything with the colors. That's how it was. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. And how many groups did you put this? 36, Dennis. Come on.
Yeah.
You're retired. You got all day.
Well, if I put it in 136, I'll still be doing it when we're on next week.
Yeah. Check with me next week. I'll be.
I don't know how he does it. Yeah, it just puts him in that many groups.
Yeah, that's a lot. No, that's nice. That's a good combination. That lens is treating you well. Oh wow, it's the first time he's put his signature on this side, but that makes sense because they're right in the middle. Okay, so 149 groups. Okay. Oh, this is 2014. Okay. With his 7000, long departed 7000. That's nice. Like that. This was probably before the 10-stop filter. I don't know. F20. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. F20? Oh.
Yeah, F20. 2 seconds. And it was with the what? 8 to 16 millimeter. Okay. So basically 12 to 24 full frame. Because Nikons are what? 1.5, right? Is that how they're?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. I like the water coming over the rock there. That's kind of nice. Little waterfall on the rock there.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite sharp, really, because F20, you'd think it would be quite soft.
Yeah, you'd start getting some. I think this over here maybe a little bit of. Maybe that's more chromatic aberration and that real bright spot right on the edge of the rock there. That's not soft.
It probably is.
Yeah, that's a digital camera for you.
Mm-hmm. No, but yeah, that's pretty sharp. I mean, these barnacles or whatever these things are here. Yeah, it's a nice one. I like it. Very nice. Field of Gold. So it looks like Simi's reworked his website. He's come up with artists. He's added an artist series. I need to go and check that out.
He's put some textures on these, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yep, this one does have a... Yeah. That's neat, the lighting right there. How many groups? 124. Only landscapes and sunsets, no people. There's some, yeah, he's got really, I won't say not obscure, but very detailed niche groups.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what he did in post on this. You think you said you think maybe he did some texture on this, maybe?
Yeah, if you look like in the upper corners, there's some like looks like almost like a washed kind of look or something.
Oh, like right up here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some lens flare there. I think he's looking right into the sun. I mean, the sun is right there.
It looks like it's got a gold cast on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he did that in post or if that was just maybe basically the color that was there. This was taken August 25th, so 2 weeks ago. It's neat. Let's go to his website and see what we got here. I want to see how he broke down scenic waterfalls. Okay, that doesn't. Latest. Right. He says artist series. I'd be interested to see. Yeah. Prints. Okay. So okay. Yeah. He's done a nice job with the site. Sleepy photographer. Very nice. Looks like he's reset some things up. Maybe he's got like a limited series of prints. That's nice. It's a nice shot. Believe in Magic. Westbrook. Wow, look at that. A 1200th of a second at F11. That's 145 groups. I think we have a new record for today. That's one of the groups. Yeah, that's a neat shot there. The wave on the sand here, the surf, and the light in the sky is nice. Yeah, that boat's not moving. Well, 1200th of a second. I guess we shouldn't see any movement. Yeah, nice one.
Very pretty.
Very nice. Yeah, he's in a great area for sunrise and sunsets with the ocean and rocks and lighthouses and all that boring stuff that he has around him. Ooh. Next to Sleeping Giant, the lone tree, the opening trees. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of interesting. Look at that. Just kind of twists up. Like the upper half of the tree has no leaves on it. It's interesting.
Looks almost like it could be a lightning bolt coming down or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's a twisted thing coming into the tree. The light on the tree is kind of neat. I don't know if he did that and after the fact or not. Yeah. Pretty, and okay. Yeah, 1.5 seconds. Yep. It's very nice. Good stuff. Still putting out still getting a lot of photos. He's going out pretty much every weekend, which is fantastic. All right, Dennis. So here we got. How was this? Did you use some cross-processing effect or something on this?
Yeah, this is the Albert Memorial.
Okay.
Yeah, this is using the Voigtlander super wide.
Okay.
And I had it tilted about 45 degrees, standing literally underneath that.
Okay. You're like right at the foot of it, tilted up to catch it.
You can see how it brought the middle of the memorial over right into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it was inverted.
Oh, okay. So you did a color inversion on it.
Yeah.
That's neat. That's that. Talk about post-apocalyptic. There we go. that,
Fire in the sky.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. Did it make the featured, Dennis? You got 4,200 views and you only put it in 29 groups.
4,200 views. And it only went on a few days ago.
Wow. You must have got in the featured or the Explorer or whatever they call it, on the front page.
Yeah, they've I mean, there's 71 faves on it. That's the most I've ever had on a photograph. That even beat the Cutty Sark one.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's a bestseller, Dennis.
Yeah, that's it. I thought it was quite good, really.
Yeah.
It turned out okay.
Yeah. I mean, especially the colors in the bell tower here, or whatever this is. That's just really that purple and yeah. And it has a very, and with her pointing, what is this, a buffalo, I guess?
Yeah, yeah. It's a massive memorial, that, for Albert.
America.
Yeah, it's over a large area. I think I put one on a few months back for the Albert Memorial, and how huge it is.
So you're like standing at the bottom of it and hold the camera above your head almost.
Yeah. Yeah, well, what's amazing about it, Mark, is that you can stand virtually with your face touching the concrete, and the whole thing is in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you never see that with your eyes, you know. It's
no
camera.
No, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah, I mean, you've got this whole, yeah.
Yeah. Now I put the actual photograph on. And it got 4 faves and about 26 views.
Mm-hmm.
So they obviously like abstract.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think this is it's a neat scene, but yeah, with this, and all you did was just do a color reversal on it.
Yeah, just it done inverted the picture, and this is the way it came out. Yeah,
that's neat.
That's come out good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a different take on the. On it. Yeah, that's probably been photographed 10 million times. You know, just
so you need to do something different with it.
Yep, exactly. So here it is, a bright, clear, sunny day.
Yeah, it's a lovely sunny day in central London. You look at the skyline there.
Mm-hmm.
But this time I was using the Voigtlander 50mm 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically standard lens.
Mm-hmm.
But it is sharp, that lens. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Voigtlander's known for good glass.
Yep.
Yeah. Those both. All I took to London was the 2 Voigtlanders, the super wide and that 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you got to draw the line somewhere. What you're going to carry around with you all day.
Yep, exactly. You just pick a lens or two that you'll use most of the time, and
I'm very pleased with the Voigtlander super wide.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything is pin sharp.
Yeah, it makes it very easy.
Yeah, you don't even have to focus the camera. It's absolutely brilliant. Just stick it on f8 or f11 and click away.
Yep.
Doesn't seem to have any distortion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good for a super wide. It hasn't got a lot of distortion. There's a little bit of big net in the corners, but that's expected on a lens that wide. It's only 15 mil.
15 millimeter? Yeah. That's pretty wide.
Fix that pretty easy.
Wow.
It's easy to fix up. But
wow, look at the, I'm just amazed. Skyline's neat, but look at all the construction cranes.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 25 cranes in the frame.
There's just not enough accommodation in London,
Wow.
Well, it's got the stage now. If you buy a house in London, you got to have £1 million.
Mm-hmm. So are most of these for residential, or are they commercial buildings that they're working on?
Well, a lot of them were commercial, but they've been taken over and turned into luxury apartments on the river.
Okay.
Because 2-bedroom apartments probably 2 or 3 million. You know, you look on the left hand side there, you can see the glass windows overlooking the Thames.
These here.
Yeah, and some of the tower blocks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're all bought up by foreign investors, Chinese. You know, everyone's investing in London. So.
Wow. Yeah, that's just amazing how the all the construction cranes in the front.
You can't afford to live there.
Man, somebody can afford to live there, but yeah, not me.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, well, a 2-bedroom apartment in London, you could probably buy yourself a manor house in its own grounds in the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the same price.
Same price, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have the manor house.
Yeah. This is that's a rat race up there.
Mm-hmm.
You see the amount of people on the trains and buses.
Yeah, it's what's the population of London proper? I mean, like the actual city of London.
I've got no idea. It's got to be millions, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Several million at least, probably, huh?
Yeah.
That was a neat shot. So is this that same? No, this is a different pier. Looks like. Exposure. 208 seconds. Texture and interest of the sky. Yeah, that's another. Look at all the detail in the wood.
That's quite good because he's got that in focus right down the bottom here, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He did this at F11. Yeah.
F11, yeah, it's going to be in it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's neat. And I got the. Yeah, that's a nice, very nice shot. Give it another fave. Wow. Yep.
Yeah, he had that lens wide open now. It's a 24mm, isn't it?
Yeah. 24, f120. Yep.
ISO 50 is down to there.
Yeah. ISO 50, 208.
50 goes down to 50.
Okay. Yep. Wow. That's why it was 208 seconds. That's a neat shot though. Only 8 groups. Wow, Sammy, come on.
Yeah, he's going to just put this on then.
Yeah, he just took this last week, basically. Last Sunday. Overeas and calm skies after a day of rain and clouds.
He must have a lot of followers on Flickr now.
Mm-hmm. I bet he does. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, 1,700.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Quite a lot.
You see why he gets those fantastic fave numbers up.
Mm-hmm. That helps. Yeah, more followers you have. Loyal followers actually, when they get a notification or something, actually go and see what you did.
Well, he doesn't stick any rubbishy ones on, does he? I mean,
no, they're all good. All good stuff. Yeah, that's neat. 179 seconds. Okay. Sets rising as the sun sets. Yep. There's the moon almost full at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's using Flickr for what it was probably supposed to be used for. There's a lot of people on there just sticking on their holiday snaps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People like, oh, here we are at the beach with the kids. Yeah. This is okay. The same road here. This was August 29th. So this is, what is that? Thursday morning, I guess. Last week. Looks like he was got a little bit of motion blur in here. He's moving on down the road on this one.
Bouncing down the road.
Yeah, you can see the blur in the lines here.
That sun's not up yet because those trucks all got their lights on. Yeah.
Yep. Just barely coming up. Whoa.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a 1 megaton.
Yep. A little different spot.
Yeah.
September. Okay, so it's taken on September 1st.
Getting closer to the mountains since the sun's coming up later.
Yep. He is He's definitely getting closer. Yep. Ooh, I like this one. Got the truck in the foreground, the long on-ramp. This is taken August 30th. Yeah. That's a nice one.
Is that a lay-by he's in there?
Is that a what?
A lay-by, you know, where you pull in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think this is the, well, this is just the shoulder. Yeah, I think it's just a wide parking area.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You call it the shoulder, do you?
We call it shoulder, we call it maybe a rest stop or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, when you pull off the road over here, they're just called lay-bys. Yeah.
Lay-bys, okay. Yeah, I think there's actually a back behind is a larger parking lot or something like that, and then this is just the on ramp to get back on the highway.
That looks pretty much the same scenery though for his whole journey, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Most of yeah, that part of the country, this is pretty much where he sees desert and mountains. The western half of Arizona, pretty much.
I know he said it gets hot.
Mm-hmm. When
he does those pictures where you can see the heat haze coming off the road.
Yeah, and it's starting to cool down there a little bit now. I mean, it's only highs around 105 now. It'll get down to comfortable temperatures here in the fall. Yeah, the clouds in this one are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if this is at the rest stop, and then the road's over here. I wonder if that's. Let's see, relation. There's that. Yeah, I bet.
Oh yeah, that line of poles there.
Yeah. See, I bet this is the. I don't know. This over here. Let's see these poles here.
Yeah.
And then in this shot, there they are, and then there's the mountain. He's farther. Yeah. So I wonder if there's like a rest stop or something back over there.
Are your truck drivers restricted on how many hours they're allowed to drive?
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
They've got to take mandated breaks, and they can only drive so many hours per day. And I don't know if it's so many hours per week or not, but definitely so many hours per day.
Yeah. So yeah.
I think every so many days they have to stop for like a day off kind of thing, where they have to sit for 30 hours or something.
I know. For him, he does normal shift, whatever it is. It's supposed to be 8 hours, but it doesn't really end up. Most of the time, it's longer than that. But he does have to take a mandated 30-minute break at least once in the shift.
It's strange how they restrict the truck drivers how many hours they can do. But if you go into a hospital, you can be operated on by a doctor who hasn't had any sleep for 4 days.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We need to ask Joe about that. Hey, Joe.
Oh, man, the Rams just kicked some serious butt.
Oh, they did. Who'd they beat?
They beat the Colts.
Oh,
like, I don't know, 40-something. I can't even count that high to 3. You know what I'm saying? It was great. It was great.
If you're a Rams fan, not if you're a Colts fan.
Right. It's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much a blowout. That is that's a huge blowout. No, we were just trying to figure out. You got your sunset images here, so I'm thinking this one here that you took on September 2nd looks like the rest stop that is behind, over to the right of where you were here. I don't know where. So this one where you've taken a shot of on the on ramp, the snaking.
Yeah, that's on the on ramp there.
So this one here is that.
That's my usual little parking spot.
Okay. So is that on ramp and the other picture over here?
That other on ramp is let me see, that particular on ramp that day. Because a lot of them look the same, really. Yeah,
I was just trying to, look.
That one there is okay. When I leave that parking spot, that's the on ramp.
Oh, okay.
To get back on from that particular spot.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because this mountain looks like the same general perspective, just farther along.
Yeah.
Ah, that's a neat one. I like that one there with the truck in the front. Yeah.
Now, I was thinking about Dennis on this one too, because it's got that nuclear look to it. You know?
Yeah, we see the one previous. It looked like a 1 megawatt.
Dennis estimated. There we go.
That's obviously a Korean test.
Yeah, that's a Korean test right there. That's a.
That's good. You get some nice color in the skies there.
Yeah, and actually, I didn't post the ones from this week. That's last week, but the ones from this week turned out halfway decent as well.
Yeah, this one with the clouds is nice. I like this. Got some neat structure in the clouds. Very cool. Okay, yeah, this is the same spot. Yeah. 2 days earlier, I guess. Yeah, the one taken on the 31st. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's the same. Right now the sun's rising about 6:15, 6:17.
Okay.
6:30. So I have to leave this spot. From this spot, I'm pretty much exactly an hour from my terminal. So
okay. All right.
I have to leave this spot at 6:30. So when you start seeing in order, with traffic and everything, I have to leave at 6:30. And sometimes I still am not making it at 8. The traffic is just so bad.
You get the early rush hour stuff. Yeah.
It's just, it's just, one thing I didn't realize, and I was someone educated me on it this week, was that Phoenix is now the 6th largest metro area in the country.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah. That's a lot of people. I think, Houston was 4?
Yeah.
And I wonder what 5 is between Houston and Phoenix.
Yeah, I forget I had it.
Because Phoenix is pretty good size. I mean, it's got to be a few million people in the metro. Maybe Atlanta's in there. I don't know. I would think Atlanta's got to be in there too.
Yeah, Atlanta's got to be in there somewhere.
That metro, if you take a look at the whole metro area, the city of Atlanta itself isn't that big, but the metro area. Yeah, but that many people means a lot of traffic.
Do you have to drive your truck into the city then?
Well, we're already in Phoenix, the actual Phoenix proper, the actual city limits of Phoenix. But I don't go into the downtown area. We're kind of on the west side of Phoenix. And then I live on the west side of Phoenix. I live in the south side of Phoenix, southwest side of actual Phoenix. And then, so I'm not, I'm only a hop skip from being actually outside the city limits of Phoenix, because I'm already on the city limit line of Phoenix. So
yeah.
Do they have restrictions about taking your truck into the city?
Oh no.
I don't think they can take big trucks into central London. I think there's restrictions on the time of day they're allowed to take them in.
I would imagine so. There's I don't know about restrictions, but like cities like New York City, Boston, a lot of your East Coast cities, I don't know if there's necessarily a restriction, but they damn sure schedule you to. They have like markets. Yeah. So like in my case, I would haul a lot of meat in those days, and so I would go to the what they call the meat market. And deliver in one specific spot, typically at night, to avoid all the heavy traffic. But that's impossible. There's always traffic there in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, cool. This is we saw a bunch of monarchs up in Illinois when we were up there last week. Looks like you caught a couple making more monarchs.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, did you guys? I don't know if you did or not, but that I'm late here to the show. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
But how are you doing, Wes, with all the hurricane stuff?
Oh yeah.
It hasn't got to us yet. It's still down in sort of South Florida area. So we're waiting for it. We're getting some wind and some rain right now, but it's good so far.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. I didn't know if you'd show up today or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I didn't know either. We're probably going to get the brunt of it probably late tonight, tomorrow sometime.
Yeah, it looked like it slowed down. Was it Friday or Saturday? It hit something when it hit Cuba. It slowed down a little bit and kind of delayed everything by 12 hours, based on what they were talking about, like on Thursday or Friday, I guess.
So,
Yeah.
what's your state of mind right now? What's going through your head? Like, what, I just try to figure, like, okay, I'm kind of by myself here in Phoenix, so I'm like, if I had to evacuate, I'm like, where would I go? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would I do? I don't.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I mean, I'm worried about, like, I'm mainly worried about a tree falling on the house or on my car or something like that is, what I'm most worried about.
Yeah. That's kind of the same thing for us. Is like, well, we're gonna get some wind and rain, which isn't bad, but if the wind hits the wrong tree and the tree falls on the house, then that's not a good thing. So, like I was telling Wes earlier, Joe, I said, a friend and I, buddy who lives in the area, we were talking this morning, and I'm like, I just hope I don't have to file a homeowner's claim this week. I mean, that's my
Now, in your area, Mark, how bad is it expected to get where you're at?
We're gonna get like, I don't know, anywhere from probably 3 to 6 inches of rain and steady winds of 25 to 55 with gusts up to 60 or something like that. And that's supposed to hit tomorrow afternoon through Tuesday morning. So
that's not insignificant. I mean, 3 to 6 inches of rain in one little, span.
Yeah, within a 12-hour period. We'll probably end up with a few inches of rain, but the big thing is, the wind. I mean, our house and most of the, the area around us is literally houses.
Woods, right?
Yeah, in the middle of a forest, Yeah. So, and we got nice trees and they're in good shape, but, you get a big wind gust like that and coming from the wrong direction, it could, snap something off. Maybe not the whole tree, but maybe a big branch or the top half of the tree. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that can happen. So
that I have to admit, like, I'm the person, like, if you hear of somebody who say, oh, man, you must be hiding under a rock if you don't know about all this stuff. And I'm the guy under the rock. Okay, I'm the one. Like, I'm literally just this morning seeing my first pictures, videos of even Houston. I hadn't seen anything. I'm just too busy during the week. Last weekend would have been the weekend to catch up, but I was, Game of Thrones. I had to catch up on Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
Like, I had all these TV series to catch up on. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Houston, but
priority.
I mean, it wasn't raining here. It's still 105. Well, it's now 106 degrees here in Phoenix. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all relative. But I mean, I'm sorry, Houston, but I mean, and my cousin is directly involved in Houston, so my sister would text me, you know what I'm saying, our cousin's okay and she moved back home and all this stuff, but so I knew that my family was all right, but I hadn't seen any images. I honestly hadn't. I had, I'm just now catching up to Irma and Harvey, and so my heart goes out to you because I put myself in that situation, like, where would I go? You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like, Wes is kind of doing the same thing, a little rain and a lot of wind. And that's Gainesville is inland, so you're not going to get storm surge. I mean, that's not an issue. It's just most of the wind.
I just had it. We didn't have a hurricane, but, we get those windstorms here, and I just had a tree fall on my house, and, I had to deal with that. So luckily it didn't do any damage. But I mean, I feel you, man. It sucks. You go outside and there's like a tree on your house, and you're like, ah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just imagine, and then like, where would you go? How far do you have to go? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I don't know. I could tell you, we were coming back into town yesterday. We came down through Nashville and down through Chattanooga and down 75, and there was a steady stream of traffic going north on 75 towards Tennessee. I mean, we noticed it all the way in Nashville.
Yeah. Wow.
Because there's just no. A ton of people came here to Atlanta. They have like basically 100% occupancy. All the hotels in Atlanta.
That's what I heard. I heard
Yeah.
about that.
And so people just kept going north. So yeah,
something was available, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, pretty much, or they have family or whatever.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah, there was a lot of traffic yesterday. I was like, wow, I can't believe all this is. But it probably was. Most of the plates were Florida or South, southern Georgia counties. And millions of people left, so they got to go somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I heard about all the traffic just headed, and I've been to Florida a few times myself. Now, it's been 20 plus years, but still, I mean, it hasn't changed that much, even in that.
Yeah.
There's only basically two major interstates going in and out of that bad boy. So it's
75 on the west and 95 on the east.
Yeah.
That's
I've been up and down both of them, so it's it's I could just imagine. I mean, I can't. Wow.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people. So we'll, it's hitting there now. So you won't have any real idea on how much damage there is until tomorrow or whatever. Once it actually moves through.
They were talking to people that it was taking them 16 hours to get to like Georgia from Miami.
Oh, yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, just bumper to bumper traffic for 400 miles. It's probably the
what came into my mind is because I drive for a living, right? So I was thinking, what about all these idiots driving these Teslas? Like, what do you do? Like, do you actually get in your electric car? I mean, are you going to have time to recharge? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if gas stations are empty, right? Or, and the ones that did have gas are full of cars trying to get more gas, and it only takes maybe 2 minutes to get more gas.
Yeah.
Like, it's taking you a half hour to get a decent charge, even at a supercharger port.
Yeah.
And there's only maybe 10 or maybe a dozen superchargers at a Carl's Jr. or something like that. I mean, I'm like, it's got to be awful with all those cars trying to get charged.
Yeah, it probably doesn't happen. I had I got a friend and I said, they're talking about make sure you have power packs for your cell phones and computers and stuff, if the power goes out. I'm like, hey, I've got a great idea. I've got like a 10 kilowatt hour battery in my car, so I could power my phone for like 300 days. I'm good. I've got all the reserve power I need.
Yeah. See, in your situation, Mark, it's a smart. I think now this kind of makes you think about it, right? Because you're like, I think that's a smart choice right now.
Yeah.
You've got that's considered a hybrid, isn't it? It's a hybrid.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a fuel tank. It'll hold 8 gallons of fuel, and I was so I texted a couple friends that have Nissan Leafs. I was like, hey, I texted, I called it Pro Hurricane Preparedness Tip. Charge your electric vehicle before the hurricane hits, and you've got enough power for your cell phone and laptop for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I always say pro tip.
Yeah.
Goes, it's a good idea. I didn't think about it. And she hadn't thought about it.
Charge your Leaf, okay, and then tow it with your regular vehicle, and you've just got power forever, right?
Yeah. Well, there's actually guys that have like Teslas or even like Volts or Leafs that have they tied up like inverters into their charge outlet, and they can actually take the energy out of the car and use it as a generator, as a backup power source. I mean, guys, totally going, yeah. And that's a big enough battery to do, to power a lot, really.
Probably for a couple hours, like at least like if you lose power in your house, you'd probably power your refrigerators and stuff for a few hours.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, my cell phone has like a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. I've got a 10 kilowatt hour battery in the car. That's like 3,000 charges or something like that. I mean, that's not. I could power the cell phone forever.
Well, I didn't mean to do a show takeover, but it's like, I just was thinking about these things, and I'm just kind of really curious.
A lot of people are being impacted. Yeah, it's gonna hopefully nothing happens to Wes's house, and hopefully nothing happens to my house. But I'm sure there's gonna be trees down. I mean,
right,
just in the area.
There's already been a few down that I saw on Facebook.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, I know because Houston is one thing, right? Houston's the fourth largest metro area,
Hmm.
but we're talking a whole state here.
Yeah, pretty
Which
much.
is pretty much, Florida is basically South New York City, right? So
Yeah.
it's like, it just, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
that really affects New York City. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's,
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge storm. I mean, it's bigger than the state. I mean, it's like literally the storm is on top of the state and it takes over the whole state of Florida. And just the size of it.
what natural disasters happen up in London area there, Dennis?
Natural disasters. I think high winds is the only thing what we've
High
actually
winds.
suffered in the past. Yeah, we've had trees down. I had a 60-foot tree come down and smash the roof in, and it took me 3 days with a chainsaw to cut it up. It was so big.
Wow.
Yeah.
The trunk. I couldn't put my arms around the trunk. I had to cut it like a cake with a big chainsaw.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you get winds. Is that more in the winter that you get those winds? Is that
Usually October.
Mhm.
Once the winter sets in,
Mhm.
it's usually the 100-mile-an-hour winds will take a few roofs off. And
Mhm.
a few years ago, we had some really high winds which took down all the forests.
Okay. Yeah.
Millions of trees were devastated right across the country. So I don't know what it was like down in the Caribbean islands because they've had 200-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah. Some of the Leeward Islands out there from Irma. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much just wipe everything off the foundation. Yeah.
we've got nothing like that here. I mean, maybe 100-mile-an-hour winds, but 200 is inconceivable.
Yeah. I mean, that's stronger than a Cat 5 tornado. I think a Cat 5 tornado is like 180.
Yeah, they said there was
200.
motor vehicles floating through the air. It's
Mhm.
Yeah, I heard it was like 90% destruction, like pretty much.
everything's flattened. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. The wind will do that. And you start getting up 100 miles an hour and over, and it does a lot of damage very fast.
Yeah, I was in Antigua years ago, and there was houses with no roofs on, and they'd been hit 5 years previous, and they still haven't repaired them.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're gonna be facing the same thing after this one. I'm sure because it did a lot, probably more damage than 5 years back then. Probably did more damage than that even. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh man. I tell you, I'm getting a lot of texts because I was talking a lot of trash earlier. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
You get a lot of abuse, Joe.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of, everyone's finally answering me back. So it's, I was talking a little bit of trash earlier.
Just a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, the beers are flowing well. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything when your team's doing good, everything just goes better.
Yeah.
Even Walmart beer was tasting fantastic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's everything tastes good when you win.
Yeah, when you win, it's just everything's sweet. Yeah.
Well, speaking of sweet, these two butterflies were like sweet. We're hanging out. We're making little monarchs.
Yeah.
So
You don't want to be one of those though, because their life expectancy is not much after this.
no, it's they're pretty much you've got what, maybe 30 days after this or something. Yeah. It's not too long. But that's neat. Was this at the Sweetwater wetlands?
This is at Lachua Trail, which is right next door.
All right. That's neat. Yeah, pretty good. 600 full telephoto on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's neat. Flipped around. You got a lot of monarchs down there right now? Or is it pretty?
Yeah, a few here and there.
Uh-huh.
Don't see a lot of them, but
So we got a green-legged spider with gooey frateri. So is he? Oh, okay. He's captured this. Is that a moth? Is that what that is?
it's a butterfly. It's just sort of turned brown a
Okay.
bit. It's normally more orange than that.
Wow, it looks like a leaf, huh? Wow.
Yeah, that spider. Yeah, it does look like a leaf, doesn't he? He's got. Oh, look at him. Oh, that's pretty cool.
He is well camoed on that.
Yeah. So the camouflage is really good.
Mm-hmm. Blends right in. Yep.
Apparently, they're poisonous too.
Oh,
Kill you.
wow.
So is it like a bee sting kind of thing?
Yeah, they said you get like a 7 to 10 inch
Yeah.
inflamed area when it bites you.
Ugh.
Whoa.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, that's the opposite of the 7 and 10 inches. That's good, right?
Yeah.
That's not the right.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah, you
That's
don't
wrong.
go you don't go low on that, right? You're not like
No.
7 to 10 inches, baby. Yeah, you don't kind of do that.
You're like 7 to 10 inches. Ah!
Exactly. Yeah, it's the opposite.
Get the doctor.
Yeah.
So ISO 800. Okay, to get the.
I like that capture, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's like action right there, man.
So were you just walking down a trail and you just like looking around to see if you could see stuff basically?
I saw the butterfly first. I'm like, why is that butterfly all brown? I was like, oh, it's dead. Oh, there's a big spider on it.
Oh,
Right. Yeah.
So I guess the spider would he encase the butterfly in silk and then hang on to it, or would he just? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably just suck all the brains out of the suck the
That's
internals
funny
out.
you mentioned that because I went to empty my trash a few days ago, and I have to go in between these two bushes, kind of two tall bushes, to get to my gate, and then there's the trash on the other side of the gate. And I was like, why is that spider like dead smack in the middle of the air right there? You know, I could not see the web. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And there I go walking right into it. You know, and I'm like, oh God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why is that spider just like floating in the air? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll walk right into the web myself.
He's hanging on the web that you didn't see until you ran into it. Yeah.
Until I was into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You ought to be thankful, Joe. You're not in Australia. You don't want to walk into webs there.
Right. Yeah. Well, here either actually that we've got those kind of spiders here in Arizona, but
And you've got scorpions too. Have you ever been stung by a scorpion there?
I haven't even so much as seen a scorpion.
Really?
But I'm being told, because I can't even tell you how many damn crickets I have in my area, but I'm being told by so many people already, they're like, oh, if you've got that many crickets, you got scorpions, because scorpions love crickets. And I'm like, oh, well, that's great, you know. But they're like, like, you'll never see them really, because they well, just like that spider, they like to be camouflaged apparently. So I have to have a UV light or something at night to see them.
Yeah.
I know nothing about.
They probably hide under leaves and stuff, whatever's on the ground. Yeah.
And then they come out at night apparently. Cause, I don't know. I just know what I'm being told. I have no idea.
You're like, I don't want to see any of them.
Check them first.
But I do have. I've never seen so many darn crickets in my life. I have crickets like crazy here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, this duck would probably like to eat some crickets.
Nice.
A black-bellied whistling duck. That's a neat shot. I like that.
That duck almost looks fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a lawn duck.
Funny looking ducks.
Yeah, the color?
I mean, who would guess? Like, I would think you totally did that to his beak. Like, that doesn't even look real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what color it is.
That's crazy.
They're usually brighter red than that, actually.
He's got that little mohawk on the top. There's that. Is that in the plan, or is that his?
I think there was something. Yeah, something
behind it. Okay.
I think it was stuck to him.
Okay.
Piece of lint or something. Kind of thing.
Beak is kind of hooked over a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, how cool is that guy? He's got like a light blue ring around his eye. He's got like a mohawk going, a red beak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little blue tip on the beak. I mean,
yeah, he's styling.
Nature is insane, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that's neat with the all the green of the hyacinth around him. Just kind of. Yeah. And was he just walking, or was just walking through?
No, he was just sitting there.
Just sitting there. Yeah. Yep. That's neat. Yeah, once again. Yep. Take advantage of that big lens. That's cool. That's a neat shot. Okay, and Michael.
No way. Look at that.
The Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
That's neat. Thrown to the lions.
One of these days, man, that's on my list. I want to be right there, one of those people right there. I want to see that boy.
That would be neat. Have you been there, Dennis? Have you seen a Colosseum?
I haven't been to Rome. No.
No.
It's on my list as well, Joe.
Yeah, I wanna go there and check it out, man.
Yeah. So much stuff there. Yeah.
I've done quite a few Italian cities like Venice and Milan, and there's, I think it's a real touristy. It's going to be like going to central London, isn't it? So
probably, yeah.
Use your time, because it'd probably be cool for you anyway, Joe. 40 degrees is
yeah, 40 degrees over here. We're constant, 45, 46, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So you can go anytime. You can go in the middle of the height of summer. Yeah.
It's all perspective, right? Because there's a girl that there's several girls that I follow from the Phoenix area, and we had some windstorms earlier this weekend. She had posted that, due to the wind, due to the weather, I can now wear a sweater, and it was 95 degrees.
Parka, yeah, to get out the heavy coats.
I tell you, I'm not kidding you about Phoenix, man. It is like that kind of place. It's just, people, 85 degrees, and they're wearing like your full blown out fur parkas and all that stuff.
Yeah,
insane.
It's all relative.
Is, man. It is, man. It's crazy.
This would be the place to take your large format, Mark.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Brighten everything up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a regular poster for you, Mark? I don't.
No, I think maybe Michael's put one or two others, but it's been a while, I think. So
that is awesome, man. Look at that.
It's a neat.
Photographer's paradise in Rome.
Oh, there's so much.
I wonder how old that is. That's insane, man.
It's to Clemens the 12th. I don't know.
I mean, that's got to be like.
How's your Roman numerals? Yeah.
Yeah.
MDCCXXXV.
Yeah. You work that out?
1,930. I don't know.
5. Yeah.
Now, Dennis, those are some of the few people that can tell you, like, what history? What are you talking about? Huh?
Yeah.
You and your couple.
London's full of you and your 1,200-year-old building. It's new construction.
Yeah, don't forget that was the 12th century, Mark.
Yeah.
That's going to be older than this building.
Yeah. That's a neat one. Yeah. It would be. You could spend a lifetime in the old European cities with a large format camera doing architecture photography.
Wow.
Yeah. That's neat.
Yeah, I'm impressed, man. That is.
Yeah.
I don't think you get time to use it in Vatican City. There'd be so many tourists there, you'd never be able to set it up, Mark.
Yeah. And it would be impossible to get a shot without people in it, too.
Yeah.
Just long exposures, man. You get rid of all those people.
Yeah, that's true. Hofbrauhaus, there we go. Beer and photography, the tie-in. The original Hofbrauhaus.
Nice.
Oktoberfest.
I'm all about it.
Yeah. That's on my bucket list. Oktoberfest in Germany.
That would be fun.
Been there, done that.
Oh, speaking of, did you see a guy set a world record? I saw a guy in a beer hall. He said for carrying steins, it was like how many was it? Was it 52 or something like that?
Wow.
And it was it ended up being 158 pounds.
Wow.
And he was like, you have to carry it a specified distance. So he's like hurrying down the aisle, and he didn't spill anything. I mean, you had to set him down. It was like 2 layers. I was like, oh my gosh, crazy.
Now, granted, it was, it's already been many years ago already, a couple of decades. Wow, that's insane to say. But I mean, all the ones that I ever saw were, beer maids, just women. They're all women, and they would just carry, at least five mugs each, you know, just and they would, you know, and some of them weren't like real big women either. But man, I mean, just
yeah, but yeah, that traditional mug with the liter of beer in it is probably 5 pounds, you know, 5 or 6 pounds. Yeah,
probably.
It's big.
Because one of them is heavy. When you have it,
just the glass by itself is heavy.
Yes.
Yeah. It's now that would be a trip to go to Munich or Germany on Oktoberfest.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
So here's Munich, St. Michael's Church. Yeah, nothing. A large format could get that straightened up, and
yeah.
Did he take it with his iPhone or something? Oh no, Panasonic. Okay.
Yeah, the LX15.
Yeah, he should still be able to straighten up. He just didn't. I would assume.
Yeah, no, you can do perspective correction in Lightroom and get it pretty close. But why do it in Lightroom when you can do it on the camera with the film? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Good shots. Oh, that's Michael's group. Let's go. Make sure there's not anything else in there. I think that was the last one. Yeah. Good stuff. Good images. Thank you, Michael, for adding some images. I don't know if you live in Europe or you were there, but it looks like you were in Rome and Munich. That's what it looks like. So that's kind of cool. That is neat stuff to see those old buildings. Well, good show, guys. Glad you can make it west. Hope, fingers crossed, hope everything goes well for you. You don't lose any trees or anything. And I hope the same thing for me and everybody else that's affected by the hurricane, because it's a big one. So there's going to be a lot of, I'm sure there'll be a lot of damage, but hopefully not as much as they've been predicting. I haven't seen what it's any updates on it yet, but I guess by now they'll probably have an update onto the strength or where it's going. So
yeah, I got caught up prior to all the football games this morning on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is just a great source for everything. I mean, they just have everything on there. So yeah. You know, I'm real quick. I'm looking at going cord cutting. I've been doing a little bit of research here last week. So I'm thinking of kicking Comcast cable to the side of the road. Yeah, doing that, but YouTube just came out with a live. They updated it. Was it what do they call it? YouTube live stream or something? Yeah, YouTube Live. Yeah, it's been out for a while, but it just in certain markets, and it hit Phoenix. What is now a little over a month ago. Okay. So yeah, of course I signed up for the free trial. And so far for me, it's worth it. Just because there's one channel or two channels that make it easier for me to watch football. Okay. So that's kind of how I'm justifying. Once the free trial's over, that's how I'm going to justify paying for that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth it. It would just be another cost. But that's the only problem is with cord cutting, you have to really be conscious of what you're spending money on because it's so easy to get right back up there to where you were before, when you still had cable. Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at. I mean, we have our cable, we got the double play or whatever, so you get the internet and the cable. And I think I can get the internet down to, pretty inexpensive. And then when I add in the other, we're looking at like PlayStation View or Sling or something, when we add, and I almost have to add 2 to get the channels that we really want to see, because they're all grouped, some are on one and not some on the others. Right. But even if we do that, we'll still end up, which is kind of sad actually. We can do that, and we'll still end up saving like $40 or $50 a month. And like, oh, that's worth it to me. But, yeah, what's nice about it is because I I can tell you what I have. Now I'm kind of like, okay, you have YouTube right now as far as your main big package. Now, I signed up for DirecTV Now when they were offering that big 100-channel package for $35. So I still have that big and they keep adding more and more channels to it. So that $35 has gone a long way for me now. So, but that's no longer offered to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But you still, DirecTV Now is a big player. You have that PlayStation View. So you just figure out which one of those big ones is worth it for you for the $30 to $40 a month. And Sling would be in there too, because Sling has that $20 plan.
Yep.
But you're going to have to upgrade the Sling in order to get to where you want to be. So you're going to be right around $40 in Sling. So it's just a matter of figuring out, okay, where do I want to be there? And then you're going to have to add Netflix into that. But Netflix, a lot of us have anyway. So
I already have it, and I'm going to keep it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's
a mute point.
So yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like, that's $8 a month, whether I want to do it or not. Like, you're kind of committed to Netflix. Yeah. I mean, it's like, so I don't even figure that in. But I have Hulu with commercial free, so that's like $14 a month.
Yeah.
And
DirecTV Now.
And then I have DirecTV Now at $35. It comes out to, I want to just over $37 with the extra little fees and stuff in there, you know, the tax or whatever.
Yeah.
And right now I'm not paying for YouTube just yet. I'm still in the free trial mode till the end of this month.
Okay. All right. And you'll have to decide whether you want to pay for it going forward or whatever. Yeah.
So then I have the Hulu with commercial free, which is another additional extra charge. So the Hulu by itself isn't that bad. You might have Hulu Live in your area too, because Hulu offers a streaming package
I was
as well.
looking at that. Looks like it might be available in our area. So I think I'm at the point now where I think we can get the local TV channels with an antenna. I think I can get all those. So I've got an antenna coming from Amazon, and if it doesn't work, I just send it back.
Oh, and Amazon just had a great deal on an antenna, a really powerful indoor antenna like yesterday for like $21. So it might still be available. It was like I don't know the name of it or anything.
I ended up getting a Channel Master, I think is what I got. It wasn't an amplified one. It's just a regular one, but it has a long comes with a fairly good length of coax, so I can put it up a little higher on the wall.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But I'll know that Wednesday or Thursday whenever it shows up. I'll know if that works, and if not, I can send it back and try another one. And
it's definitely worth your while. This one here was an amplified one, so you could have it amplified or not.
Yeah.
But then it had stickers, so you could stick it to anything. You could stick it to a wall, to a window, to anything to help you get that reception. And it's worth it to get the antenna first and start there. See what you get over the air.
Yep. And then fill in the other stuff with the streaming service. Yeah. Yeah. That's what we're doing. Because the antenna
might not even need after that. You might not even need it. You might just be like, you know what? We're kind of good, you know, and then you know. For myself, I download so much content that makes up for all the little gaps. Yeah. So it's mostly just football. Football is the big. Sports is still the big hole in the cord cutting. It's
Sports is where do they get you? I think because
it's mostly football, because you can get the baseball package, you can get the basketball package, all the packages. You can watch soccer, all the sports, just the NFL, man. It's
that's by design. They do it that way.
Design. It's by design.
Do it. Okay. Well, hey, good show, guys. Glad everybody can make it. Stay safe, Wes.
Yeah, we'll try.
Fingers crossed for you, and we'll see what happens here tomorrow. I think hopefully we'll be fine, unless any trees decide to fall. But Dennis, have another week of Sundays coming up for you, I'm sure. Another week of Sundays. And Joe, thanks for popping in. I know the Rams take priority, and I completely understand that. So
that's it. Now you got the big game, the Cowboys and the Giants. I did buy some new gear, by the way. I bought my.
Oh, you did? Okay. What do we got? We need.
This will be more of a West thing, but I got my shotgun microphone.
Oh, okay. I saw it. Yeah, you did a post on that. Yeah. Okay.
So it works.
Is that a Rody?
No.
Is that what that is?
No, but it's
similar
a
type.
Rody kind of knockoff.
Okay. All right.
This is a Comica.
Okay.
The whatever model 30. I don't know all the letters, but it's the latest one. It's the 30. So this one's the powered version. It has the plus 10 dB gain, so which is good for Canon. I heard. I'm not even going to pretend like I know all that stuff. But it works well so far. I tested it yesterday. It works well so far. So look for some videos, you know, soon with it. But yeah, I like the way it has that nice, you know, shock mount and all those sorts of things. Plugs in nice to the, so yeah.
So are you gonna do that for videos, like for review videos and stuff? Is that what you plan on using it for?
Yeah, more for beer reviews and that sort of thing, or my cigar lounge if I'm outside, sort of thing.
Okay.
I did find some tips on how to make my SLR into a webcam.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. Still running a debate, a little bit of a thing there, if I'm gonna get an iPad or a Chromebook for when we go to Colorado.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
still
I think either one would work. I think a Chromebook would probably be less expensive than the iPad. But you could probably get, what do you think? I'm getting like a used iPad or something?
I don't know. We'll see. I was looking at the refurbished, save a little bit of money, but they're roughly about the same price, really, for a comparable, you know, something that'll do some decent work for you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still running that around. We'll see where that ends up.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, speaking of, did you find a place to stay in Denver?
No, and I'm supposed to book that this weekend. I meant to book it last weekend.
Oh, okay.
And then I got so caught up in I was catching up on Game of Thrones, and then I had to catch up on Narcos season 3 on Netflix. That released last weekend too. So I was like, Narcos, man, I love Narcos.
Our friends got us hooked on Game of Thrones. He said, "Oh, you've never seen Game of Thrones? We got to start. We got to watch some of this." So now we're gonna have to get HBO now, I think.
Oh yeah, that's another one I have. I have HBO now, but see, part of DirecTV now, since I was one of those early adopters, they gave me a year of HBO for free.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, so I think that's that wasn't even on our list until that, and I'm like, that's a really good show. We need to watch that.
HBO is a must.
We've seen the first 4 episodes of season 1. That's all we've seen, but it was enough for us to like, we need to see the other 65.
Yeah, yeah, 65. Wow.
Whatever it is. Is it season 7? And it's basically 70.
Yeah.
Are you watching?
We got over a year before season 8, so.
Yeah.
You're watching season 7, Joe?
Yeah, I finished that one last weekend. Yeah.
Right. Is season 8 out then?
No, we got how long, Wes? A year?
Like a year, I think. Like late next year, I think it is.
Yeah,
July of next year or something. Yeah.
And
well, that'll be.
I don't even think they've started filming yet.
Done with it by then, I think. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with that. You already have Netflix. Do yourself a favor if you're a guy. It meets all the requirements. You got drugs, hot chicks, people dying, getting shot. It checks off all the, you know what I'm saying? It checks off all the boxes.
As I call it, has all the family-friendly components.
Family-friendly Narcos is just awesome. Now they just had season 3 released. It's just it's great. And now they're leading into maybe a possible season 4, which would be Mexico. And we all know the history of Mexico. We've heard about Mexico. It's awesome. It's great because they chainsaw people to death. They walk in buildings and just machine gun people to death. You know, terrifying if you live in Mexico, but I don't. So it's great entertainment.
They should capture that. Maybe I'll send that. That's terrifying if you live in Mexico, but I don't. So it's great entertainment.
So it's
Narcos, Mexico.
That's you know how you see those quotes on the posters and all that. Yeah, you know, Joe D says.
Terrifying if you live in Mexico, but I don't. So it's great.
But that's what's great about Narcos is because we all know what happens. I mean, we know the history. It's in our recent history. It's in our lifetime. We've lived it. But it's great to just see the drama that they add in a little extra to it, you know. But it's just
they add in a few extra chainsaws. But other than that, it's pretty close to realistic.
Oh, there's it's just great. You have tons of cash. I mean, these guys are burying money. They're burying money. You know, Like I don't think it's a spoiler alert or anything, but it's like, in season 3, they met this one cat, and he's in an airplane full of cash, pallets taller than I'm 6 foot, taller than me,
full of cash,
pallets full of cash. It was just cash.
Mm-hmm.
$300 and some million in cash in this airplane. Dude, really? It's great. This show's great. You know what I'm saying? Tons of cash, tons of cocaine, tons of people dying. It checks
all the boxes.
It's great.
Yeah,
So
I'm probably going to start watching. I'm probably going to start watching that too this week. Once I'm gonna finish. I'm almost through Sons of Anarchy, so I'm gonna finish that. Then I'll probably start Narcos. And
Sons was great.
Yeah. I'm working my way through that. I've got like 2 seasons left, so I'll be done with that in a couple months probably. Yeah. And then I'll start on Narcos, and then we'll be deep into Game of Thrones. That's something that both Pam and I can watch because she said we need to get Game of Thrones. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah. No, Game of Thrones is you cannot beat the production in Game of Thrones.
Oh no, it's a well done show. Very much so.
Nothing beats it. It's just wow.
Well put together, that's for sure. Well worth the money.
The only thing that I love Game of Thrones. The other period type of show that I like is Peaky Blinders. Man, I love Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, that was good, Joe.
That was good, wasn't it, Dennis? Oh, it was
I watched Peaky Blinders. Yeah.
I think that was originally a BBC. I think that was a BBC show. I think originally, or something, and then it came to America. A lot of the British shows are just flipping awesome. I just love them. But Peaky Blinders is I love that show.
Is that on Netflix?
I think they do have some of them on Netflix. I think they do.
Okay. All right.
Between Netflix and Amazon, you might be able to find what you need.
Okay. All right. I'll take a look for that. Add it to my list, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've got a long list of stuff to watch.
Exactly. Yeah, that's now my dilemma.
I save everything up for winter when it gets dark early, and It
was
it's tough to watch that stuff in the summer because I like to be outside doing stuff if it's still light outside. And, I don't get started watching things in the summer till 9 o'clock at night or something, and it's like I can only watch one episode. Now I got to go to bed.
Last weekend was the weekend for me because it was a long weekend, so I had plenty of time to catch up on this one and that one and that one, and it was great. And then I made a bunch of shows, and you know what I'm saying? It was great. I had a 5-hour show last week, Mark. Oh my god!
I saw that.
Oh my god!
That's a long time.
That's a very long time. That won't happen again. I promise you. Wow.
Sure. Until next time. It's 6 hours. That won't happen again.
Oh my god.
We'll just go stream all day.
Oh my god. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of 6 hours, it's been more than 6 hours since I've eaten, and I got to get some dinner.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Stay safe, Wes.
Thanks, you too. Cheers.
Yep. Dennis, Joe. See ya. Good show as always. Appreciate it.
Hey, best wishes, Wes, man.
Thank you.
God bless you, man.
All right. See ya.
All right.
Take
brother.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.